Hi guys, it's Adela here, co-founder of Boss Women, and I am doing an interview today with the lovely Maria, who is the founder and the director of Empower. I'm gonna let Maria tell you what it's about because she's so much better at explaining this than me. So, Maria, please explain a bit about Empower and a bit about yourself, and just give us a little introduction to yourself so everybody knows what you're doing.
No, thanks so much, Adela. Thank you so much for having me this morning. So Empower is a non-profit organisation that was created to support young people and young professionals who want to go in any specific career. It doesn't matter what that is, but it's all to make them understand their inner abilities and empower them to succeed. So the reason why I created this company, it's been in my heart for many years, but because of things happening, it's never ever happened. However, lockdown has been an opportunity, even though it was a crisis, for me to actually have the time to actually set it up. So and that's how Empower was created. So over the lockdown COVID
Wow.
crisis pandemic.
Excellent. These are the positive things that are coming out of this pandemic.
Yeah.
Yes, with the pandemic, you can look at it in a kind of like a Debbie Downer way, or you can, have a look at it in a way where it's just absolutely excellent, full of opportunity, which you've done, which is absolutely excellent, Maria. So when you said that you had this idea for many years, like what made you start your business now? Why now and not before?
So I my actual background is a lawyer. So I am actually a commercial litigator, and I work in a firm. And I deal with, and it was always my plan to be a solicitor from a very young age. However, throughout my legal career, I've had a lot of prejudices. I've had a lot of negativity, not just because of my ethnicity or my sex being a woman, but also class prejudice. And I've always had a lot of people putting obstacles in my way because of those things. And me being a fighter, although I'm 5 foot nothing, I call myself a grenade. That's what my clients know me as, because I'm small but my damage is effective. I've always had the fight, and I've always been a go-getter. So every time I'd fall down, I'd always dust myself off and get up and go again. But I've been fortunate to be given that, to be born with that kind of fight in me. And there's a lot of young people that may not have found that fight yet, or who are being told the same thing as I did and quitting because of somebody's told them they're either not good enough, or they didn't get the best grades, or they didn't come from the right background, or they're not the right ethnicity or the right uni. All these things that I've heard throughout my career, and that's the whole point of me creating Empower, so that way I can give people the opportunity to see that, what, I had those exact same things, and now I'm a founder of a business, and the director, and a head of department, and a solicitor. And if I've been able to do it with all those things against me, anyone can do it.
Maria, that's absolutely excellent. You're done and you're doing so much. And it's good the fact that, you mentioned that you're a solicitor, so you must have some fight in you. So that, a commercial one as well. I mean, that's absolutely excellent, and at the same time, just starting your own business, and it's just absolutely amazing. And you haven't done it in a way where you're thinking, right, okay, I've started a business to benefit yourself. You're doing it from your heart to help other people, to get to who maybe get to where you've got to kind of help people that don't have the opportunities that I guess I had, and anybody else who has had, who are a bit more disadvantaged. And the fact that maybe they're lacking confidence as well, and they don't know where to go to find help. And it's absolutely excellent, and I think it's a brilliant thing that you're doing,
Thank
Maria,
you.
that you're actually helping these people, because I would say that we need a lot more people like you in the world, who are selfless and like to help people. Because I mean, you've started this business, and it's going to progress with you helping these people, and then these youngsters are going to be, we're going to be seeing them as prime ministers, we're going to be seeing them as entrepreneurs, you know, we're going to be seeing them, I know, working in a Wall Street and, you know, Canary Wharf and all of these, and that's going to be down to you. So, you know, hats off for doing that. um so just want to know as well then, I know you're a solicitor, you know, you said you had time, you had like a bad time kind of getting to where you got to. What made you then kind of become a solicitor? What made you kind of then think about, once you became a solicitor, that you want to kind of open your own business but still be working at the same time? What kind of gave you that drive? What helped you?
I think for me, I have a lot of faith, Adela. Like, you know, there's not a lot of people that everybody believes in God. People have different beliefs,
Yeah.
but I had a lot of faith, and I feel like without having my faith to push me in times of when I didn't have other things around me to give me that drive, that helped a lot. But for others that maybe don't have a strong faith or don't believe in a God or anything like that, you need to have faith in yourself. And that's one of the drives that made me do this. During my career, um, I did have people tell me I didn't get the best grades, I'm not going to be a solicitor. I was told, you know, I was lucky to have got this far. I've been told, you know, if I get any smarter, I'll never get married. I was told that, you know, I need to be careful of how I look because you don't want people seeing you just a pretty girl with no brains. Like, I've been told everything, you know, and for me, it's because of that drive, and I like not fitting the mold. And in the legal world, it's very either black or white. And I don't mean race wise, I mean you either follow this route or follow that. There's nothing in the middle. And I am the rainbow in the middle. I like being different. And I think there's a lot of young people that are so trying so hard to fit in, but they need to understand it's okay to be different. Whether you're a businessman or whether you're a businesswoman or you're trying to go into profession or something like that, people don't buy the industry, they buy you, they buy the individual. And if you know what you're doing and you're passionate about what you're doing, people will be attracted to that. And it's about understanding and believing in yourself. And I feel that with what's happened to me in my career, I feel like all our generation, like you included, we set the bar. So we need to help the younger generation surpass what we've done for them. So that way it's like a domino effect. Everyone surpasses the other person. So that way we have a better, I hope one day, better society where we support each other, where we can have more female MPs, you know, a female prime minister longer than, you know, we've only had two in about 100 years. And the second one, Theresa May, was bullied so much. You know, other female MPs weren't supporting her, you know, having all this stuff. Of having more empowerment, and the world is changing worldwide. There's a lot more female presidents, prime ministers, women of power, and we need to really, really emphasize that, not just for women, but for every race, every culture, every kind of set, everybody, so that we empower each other. And that's the reason why empower means so much to me, and I want to make a difference and help others, and even work with industries, work with corporations to make them implement that. And that's the reason why I still want to be a solicitor, because without me going through the obstacles and fighting them, I can't tell others this is what happened to me and this is how I got through it. And that's the reason. And I will always be a solicitor. You know, I'm never going to stop. I love doing what I do. It's in my soul. And I hope from my experiences, even they hurt me or they make me fall to the ground and I'm on my knees sometimes, that when I climb back, I can help others and say, I've done this and this is what you need to do, or do it in a different way, and, you know, and so on.
You know, that's absolutely excellent. I mean, I love that little quote of yours. You know, it's either black or it's white, you know, in terms of you take one route or you take the other route, but you're the rainbow in the middle. I absolutely love that. And you know, it's from knowing you, Maria, that is absolutely true. You bring so much joy you to the day. You know, speaking to you first thing in the morning, it just brightens my day. And you give that kick to people. You give that kick to people for them to go off and have an excellent day. You know, you give them that kind of power. You know, for them to kind of move forward, and it's just absolutely excellent. And I love how you said, you know, the one of the reasons that you are still a solicitor, and that you're going to carry on in that profession, is because you cannot teach other people how to get up if you haven't fallen and got up yourself. So you are, from your own experience, real life experience going to be teaching other people on how to do and what to do, and kind of empower them and give them confidence. And I can't believe when you said that even you go, you have your down days and you're on your knees sometimes. I mean, speaking to you and knowing you, you have such confidence. I can't believe that you would, that would happen to you. But I guess we're all human.
We're all human, Adela, and I think a lot of people, and what schools don't teach young people, and even when we were at school, we weren't taught
Yeah.
that it's okay to not win the first time. It's okay to fall. It's okay not to get the best grade straight away. There are other opportunities. And during my times of when I'm on my knees, I listen to motivational speakers and things like that. And one motivational speaker, which I can't remember his name off the top of my head, during this lockdown, he said, um, in the Asian culture, there's no direct definition for a crisis. The actual translation forms more of opportunity. So he says you need to find opportunity in a crisis, and that is why Empower was created. It was my opportunity in a crisis, and we need to teach the younger generation that it's okay to fall. If you fail at one thing, that doesn't mean you can't be what you want to be. It just means it might take you longer than the next person. But to be honest, if I could go back, if God could say to me, Maria, look, I'll give you this life all over again, and you get everything you want straight away, you pass your exams, you get your training contract, all of this stuff, you won't have to worry. I'll be like, no, because it's made me who I am today. It's made me appreciate it. It's made me be able to create Empower, to tell other people it's okay to be different. It's okay not to look like your typical corporate lawyer, all in black. I'm not your typical looking lawyer, and I don't want to be. And there's no offense to my counterparts. I hope no one's gonna get offended. I'm gonna get calls and whatever. But it's just the fact that it's okay to be different. Society makes us believe that we need to fit this mold. But why do you want to be like everybody else? Your empowerment is your difference. And I think young people need to understand that it's okay to be ethnic. It's okay to be trans, or any kind of part of the LGBT community. It's okay to be from a working class family, an immigrant. It's okay to wear a hijab. It's okay for all of those things, because that's what makes you you. You are individual. I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to be a sheep. And somebody that I met through my networking said, Maria, you are an eagle amongst chickens. And that's the truth. I don't want to be like the rest of the chickens. I'm an eagle. You are an eagle. And we all need to be proud of being who we are. Don't try and fit in, because if you're a chicken, you're only going to end up clucking around. Whereas an eagle, you're going to soar.
Excellent. I absolutely love that, Maria. I'm just smiling from end to end, because I just absolutely love what you're about, and I love about what Empower is about. And you would be a really good motivational speaker. Have you ever thought about doing that, actually?
That's what Empower is. So
Yeah.
Empower is obviously with lockdown it's a bit more difficult, but for me the plan is to work with universities. I'm currently working with a university at the moment. I've got a few talks in a couple of weeks. I went to my old university last year and done a few talks to the students. And that is what I want to do. I want people to, even if I can change a grain of sand at a time and make a difference just by one word, that means all my the stuff I went through was worth it. Because at the end of the day, it's about letting people see it's okay. And you've got people that have been there and done that. And I think in our industry especially, there's a lot of people that come from nothing, have made it, and don't go back to the young people.
Yeah.
They think, I'm a lawyer now, I'm judge, I'm whatever. Not all of them, but there are some. But you need to remember, where did you come from? Where did you come from? And these young kids need to see that I came from East London school, went to an East London college. My parents working class. I'm a first generation migrant. My parents are from Greece and Cyprus, and look at where I've come. I didn't not face obstacles, but the secret is I learned to overcome them, and I was able to realize, any criticism as constructive and take that on board, and any criticism which is just negativity and people's own opinions, I let that be and let it go. And this is where I am now.
I guess that's where you need to, kind of differentiate the constructive criticism and the criticism which is negative, and there to put you down and kind of put you off what you're doing. So I guess this whole, in terms of boss women and the whole entire community, it's a network of women who are going to help each other, who are going to actually pick each other up. If somebody's having a bad day, you know, you can speak to somebody there on the group. You've got that community. You're not on your own. So that's part of what Boss Women is about. And you saying that, you know, you want to kind of help people that way, and that's what Empower is all about. And this is the power of networking. I mean, I would never have met you if it wasn't for networking. You know, we actually met through somebody who we both network with, who is like a mutual person for us in the networking. You know, and it's just, and this is the power of networking. And I know we speak quite often as well, and it's just good. It's empowering to feel that there's somebody there where you can just pick up the phone and say, do you know what, I'm having a bad day. You know, the other person's there to say, do you know what, you're not having a bad day, it's fine, don't worry, let it all out.
I know you've helped me so much, Adela. And I think I can't thank you enough. Obviously now, you know, I can speak to you face to face in a way, but you have helped me and supported me so much over the last 12 months by giving me guidance. And when I have had a bad day, you've been there. But this is the key point of a lot of this, what your initiative is such an important thing, because there's so many women out there that don't support other women, you know. And I think society and, you know, the kind of corporate struggle to get to the top and the competitiveness has caused a lot of girl on girl crime, I call it, where a woman won't support another woman. And I think it's so important that we do, and that we empower each other, because without one we can't have the other. And you know, and there's so many women that we want to get women's rights and all this stuff, but if there's, in like any kind of society or any democracy, if there's problems within the camp, you can't succeed going forward, because if you can't come to a unity together, you can't show that unity outwardly if you can't show it inwardly. And that's the thing. And I think what you're doing, and for women to support each other, I think it's the most amazing thing, because we need a lot more of that.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely, and definitely now in the current situation as well. You know, this whole pandemic going on from last year, everybody just needs that extra help, and you know, needs that push, and it's good that it's there. But and again, Maria, thank you so much, because you've helped me as well so much in the past year and or so. And as I said, this is the power of networking, you know, and it's been absolutely excellent. So, but thank you for being you. You know, it's been great. It's been great, and as I always say, it's a blessing in disguise that we actually did meet. And I feel like that you would be a forever friend, not just
definitely
kind of networking, but an actual friend as well, you know. And this is the power of networking, as I say. So I just want to ask you about, you were talking about, you know, at one point you were, you know, at some points you are on your knees as well, because you have your lows, kind of like in your business and just in life in general. So what have been your highs and your lows in business, you know, being the founder and director of Empower? Tell us a little bit about that and how you've overcome it.
Well, I think starting, as much as it's great to have this opportunity to start something in the crisis period of a pandemic, the lows are very hard in the sense of, as a new startup, because there's many startups that have started between early 2019 to 2020, or started at the beginning of 2019, and now it's 2020, which is, when you start up, as you know, it's 12 months of the hardest time of the year. Now, I'm very fortunate, because as it's a non-profit, I'm not making any money. And when the time comes for me to be making any money, it'll be going back to help the young people. So do like a bursary at some point, which is a very long time in the future of that happening. But it is very hard to try and to promote what you're doing, because what we do is all about talking to young people, motivational speaking, and a lot of people, you know, it's all on Zoom now, so it's very difficult. It's bad enough trying to get adults to get on Zoom and have meetings, let alone students. And as you know from networking, when we do a lot of our networking online now, you don't have where you could have a hall through about 100 people to come and hear you speak, or to talk about your business and what you're doing. You're limited to about 30 people come, because that's all that can be bothered, or who've got the time, and people are homeschooling. So there are a lot of obstacles by having a startup in such a difficult time. However, from another perspective, is I find that we have been given this time, and it's time to not only just develop and fine tune your business, it's also about being able to understand and fine tune yourself. Because there's a lot of businesses that go all guns blazing, don't look at their website, they just set everything up really quickly, and then all of a sudden it goes down the pan in space of 12 months because everything's done in a rush. But now, because of the pandemic and everything's slowing down, it's the best time to, if you're starting your business or beginning to start, is to hone in on your website, on the content, on networking. Because once you get up and running and you're really busy, networking, as much as it's a great thing to do, you don't have the time sometimes to do it. Even with me I'm a solicitor and doing this, there might be times I might not be able to. So now's the time to get the brand out there, get your brand out there, get yourself out there, go on networking events, especially things as now they're online. A lot of companies are doing free networking events, which is all you need is to go in there for the first session, get everyone's details, follow them on LinkedIn, and then connect with them, talk with them, arrange one-to-ones. You know, there's so much stuff you can do with all this time, and people don't realize time is of the essence. Obviously, as we're getting older now, when I was in my 20s, time was like, yeah, I'm going to have time for the rest of my life. But now I'm realizing the value of time. And I believe, being someone, again, who said is spiritual, is the fact that God has given us this time for a reason. Life's going to get back to normal in 6 months, 12 months. And before you know it, we're all going to be rushed off our feet. London's going to be even busier than it was, faster pace to catch up with what we've lost. So now's the time to try and hone in on those little things. Like even my banner at the back, my design, my brand, it took me 6 months to design it. 6 months, because I was thinking of one thing, of the other thing. But because I had the time to do that, there was no rush, there was nobody chasing me. I had that time to do it. I had the time to realize the content of my website. I've had the time for that, whereas there was no rush. So maybe this is what people need to think about. Take this time not to rush to push forward your new brand, your new business. Hone in on all the little attention to details, because remember, once you've done it, you can't, after 4 weeks, saying, oh my God, I don't like my image or my brand, I need to change it, or I don't like this. You know, you need to start your business and your brand and selling yourself the way you want it to look like.
That's absolutely excellent, because time is of the essence. And when we do go back to, say, normal life, 6 to 12 months or whenever it's going to be, you know, like you said, people are not going to have the time. So I guess it's a blessing in disguise. And I've said it before, and I've said it many times before, and I probably will say it many times in the future, that it has been a blessing in disguise. And I guess you have to see in every situation the silver lining. You have to have that positive thinking that, you know, you can think about, oh, there's a pandemic, I'm stuck at home, I can't do anything. Or you can do what you've done and think, well, actually, we're in a pandemic, I'm stuck at home, I don't want to get bored, I don't want to keep going to the kitchen cupboards, you know, as many of us are doing, because there's nothing else to do, you know, watch endless movies. You've gone and you've done something productive, that you've had this idea, as you said, for many years, and this has been your time to get this done. And, you know, so you've taken that passion and you've used this time effectively. And I guess that's excellent advice for people out there, that if you're thinking about doing stuff, now is the time to do it. And I guess, you know, you have the highs and lows, like you've said as well. But then in terms of, there are lessons that are learned in business as well. So you starting your business, yes, okay, it's a not for profit at the moment. However, you still have lessons that you would probably learn in business. I mean, so you starting your business in a pandemic, what has been your biggest lesson in your business that you can share with people, and what advice would you give to people so that they can kind of hear that and think, right, okay, someone's done that, maybe I should do it another way and listen to their advice in the business that I'm starting?
I think what people don't realize is, like I said before earlier on in our interview, is that people buy people. They don't buy the company, they don't buy the brand, they buy people. So if you, like for me, I'm a one-man band, you know, I don't know what the future holds, but at the moment it's just me. I need to go out and sell what I do. I need to go and do things like this, do interviews, do networking, post things on your LinkedIn, have an Instagram account. I'm not a social media person whatsoever, but for my company, I've set up its social media. So whoever wants to follow me after this, please follow me on Empower Group 2020. But it's the fact that what we don't learn a lot at school and at university, even for us as lawyers, you'll probably be able to agree with me, we don't get about networking. We don't,
No,
I
we
think
don't.
my first job, when I was told, oh, by the way, Maria, you need to go out and get network, I was like, what? You know, I just thought I'm going to sit at my desk and all my clients are going to bang on the door for them to give me work. But
Yeah.
actually, that's not the case. And in anything you do, you need to have, your reputation needs to go before you, because so that way, whatever happens, people will always follow where that person is. So even like with lawyers, if you're a good lawyer and your clients are happy with you, they're going to go wherever you're going to go because they're following you. The fact that you work for a company doesn't make a difference, but that's just an example. So it's about, okay, so what does your business do? What networking events are there out there? What is my LinkedIn looking like? Have I posted things on there? Have I done articles on there? If, for example, if you're a builder, have you posted pictures of your recent build and any new updates that are coming in the building industry? You know, it's not just for lawyers and professionals, it's for any kind of industry. Are you a beautician? Have you set up this? Do you have any updates on recent, you know, medical treatment coming up? All these little things, by posting stuff on your LinkedIn, on your social media, all these networking events, it's about making connections, because connections are the foundation of the future of your business. You don't need, just because you've gone to 100 networking groups, you might meet one person in that networking group who could change your life. So that means in one networking group, if you meet one person, that's 100 new people that you have met that can help your business. So, and at the moment now, we have the best of both worlds, that we can network worldwide without having to leave our house. So, for example, our networking group that we met, Adela, is a UK-wide group. So we can go to Scotland, we can go to Ireland, we can go to Birmingham and meet people that we may have not had the chance to meet, the opportunity to meet, if it wasn't for this crisis. So you see how things can, if you see things differently, I'm not going to lie, it is hard. You're going to get stressed out. You're going to want to quit, all these things. But it's a balance between your ego and your spiritual passion. So you need to control your ego, because your ego is always going to have panic, always going to feed fear in you, always going to do all these things, give you doubts. And it does to me. I have imposter syndrome. I do it all the time. But it's about, what is your passion and your heart telling you? It's 99.9% accurate. And networking and selling your brand and putting your brand out there is the one most important thing I can say for new people that are starting up their business.
That's excellent, excellent advice, Maria. Brilliant, brilliant advice. I mean, one thing I do want to just kind of like ask you as well is, you're speaking about social media and how you have to kind of put yourself out on social media, especially with the new businesses, and make those connections. In this situation where we are, with everybody is going online to do everything, and with your business, you are more, you do motivational talks, you go to universities and you go to business centers and things like that to do these motivational talks. How do you now how do you attract these people? Where do you find these people? Do you simply do it all on social media? Or is it now, or were you, before the pandemic, were you thinking about, you would go and approach people, like you said, you went to your previous university, or do you just speak to, I don't know, job centers and things for young people who you can help? And how do you do it? And how do you make yourself stand out from the crowd? I mean, because social media is kind of, there's so much going on in social media. What do you do to make sure that you stand out, so that these people can also find you on there?
I think so like I said before, I'm not a social media person. I hate Facebook. Into all it wasn't a meeting, and especially as a lawyer, it's not the best thing to have, when clients search you and you've got a photo of you partying away and stuff. So I try to avoid it. But I think with social media, a lot of people are on it now. Even the older generation are getting more familiar because of how lockdown, again, this crisis has created opportunity for all of us to learn something. And I think with social media, it's a one branch of networking. However, we should also look internally. How many people do you know who can actually help your business? And I'm really lucky. I have, my best friend is a teacher. Her friends that are also my friends, like I know them, they're all teachers. So I already had that kind of internal network group where I can branch out and speak to them. I was very fortunate about going to Miles University, making connections, but it also is to do with you as a person. It's being about a go-getter. You know, sometimes things are fortunate enough and they come to you. Other times, as people like us, we have to go get them. So it's about connecting with people, putting things, like I said, on Instagram or LinkedIn, or searching for universities, connecting with university professors or heads of department. And if you even know just one, most heads of department know other heads of department in other universities. So you can branch out. I'm very fortunate. I know some barristers that also work with universities, and I've spoken with them and things like that. So there are things potentially in the future to come up, but it's about what is your internal network. Some people just think, okay, let's go outwardly, but hold on, what can we start small first? Because when you look outwardly too soon, it can be overwhelming because there's so much stuff to do. But if you look at your own network and see, okay, who do I know within my close friendship network, acquaintance network, business network, and then branch out that way. And I think that's probably the best way to start forward. Look at who you know for your business first, and then start slowly expanding and expanding. So once you've exhausted everybody you know, then you can start on the next step, and that doesn't feel as overwhelming.
And I think that you hit on the head as well, where you have your network, and that one person in your network will open the doors to another 100 people. You know, I mean, I personally believe that so much, because half the people that I know now in London are through pure and simply through networking, and a lot of the people who have helped me from day one in my business is through networking. And the good people that will be there to help you, give you advice in this networking, and like-minded people, I think, is very important as well. They've been there from day one to now, you know, and those are the people that you know are the good people, that and the like-minded people that are there to help you. And I think you're absolutely right. Like, you need to look on your own network first. Look at the people around you, and then you can expand that way. I think that's excellent advice. So, and finally, Maria, I just want to say, or ask you even, I should say, what are your top 3 tips, not just in business, but in life as well? What are your top 3 tips that you would give to anybody who's listening to this right now?
I think the first one would be believe in your dream and your passion, because, like I said, there's always this battle with your imposter syndrome, your self-doubts, because sometimes we are our own worst enemy. I think the first thing is believe in your dream. If you've got a dream and you wake up every day and it's always in the back of your head and you're always thinking about it, then it means you have to do it. So I think the first thing I could say to someone is believe in yourself and your dream and your passion. I think the second point would be um, external views. There's going to be a lot of people out there, unfortunately, how life has been created is there's always somebody out there who's got their 5 pence in and always wants to try and put you down. I would always say to people, and I've actually posted this on my social media, that it's okay for people to have their opinion, but remember that's what it is, just their opinion. What matters is the opinion of yourself. So everyone has an entitlement to say what they think. You know, they can say what they think about me, about you, but that's their stuff. Don't let other people's negativity or energy or their views of yourself or where they think you should be imposed on you. That is what I'm trying to say when I said you're the eagle in a group full of chickens, kind of thing, kind of mentality. Which I'm not going to take credit for that quote. She knows who she's told me. So I'm not going to, you know. But that's the example there. So take people's views on board. If it's constructive, you know, because sometimes it's a very fine line between constructive and something which is negative. So make sure you try and take the constructive points of someone's view and then take it as it is constructive and then move on. And the best thing is make sure you surround yourself with people that empower you and can see your light and want to push you to your success. There are some people that try to see your light before you do and try and put it out. And that's where I go back to people's negative opinions. And I think my third point would also be it's okay to fall. If you don't do it the first time, remember, even if you do it the 10th time, you have learned 9 times all different things about yourself and about life. And I always try to say this to myself because I'm very impatient. Life is meant to be rushed slowly. So do try and appreciate all the pitfalls and all the obstacles and all the mistakes, because that will build you, build your business, and make you be the best person you can of yourself. So that way you can learn, talk to others about it, and grow. I think as a human nature, we always try and put our lives in line with other people's. Oh, that person's done this quicker than me. That person's done that, you know. And I think, and I do this as well. It's just because the stuff I'm saying is stuff that I'm experiencing. It's the fact that you need to sit there and hone and be like, no, everyone's path is different. My path maybe had more obstacles because I had to learn certain things in order to help others. And that's how you need to see it. It's okay for you to fail. It's okay for you to fall. It's okay for you to, you know, have a wake up and not have a great day. But always remember to pick yourself up, because you're destined to do what you're destined to do if you wake up every morning wanting to do it.
Excellent. That's some brilliant tips there, Maria. I feel so inspired, and I'm just going to go off and do about a million things today that have been on my list that I've wanted to do. And it is absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. And I know I said that was a final question, but I've just thought of something else. And I would love to absolutely know, if you were a superhero, what superhero would you be? I have to know this.
Oh God, do you know what? I'm a big Avengers fan, so I love all the Avengers lore. I'm always like suit. I think on my most recent post I put suit up. But do you know what? I don't know. I would say, I don't want to be cliche and say Wonder Woman, because I think that's a bit cliche. But I don't know. I think I'll have a combination of everybody's. I think I'll have definitely Wonder Woman's fight. Being a gladiator in a suit is how I sell when I do my litigation selling point. I'll probably have Iron Man's suit as well, and definitely when I need to be, Thor's lightning, because if I need to throw lightning somewhere, I have to have that. So I think maybe a combination of the three. I know it's a bit more than what you asked for, but a combination of the three.
That's excellent. That's a new superhero that's going to be formed. Everybody watch this space. We are going to have that suit would be amazing. Iron Man and Wonder Woman suit would be absolutely amazing.
Iron Man, Wonder Woman, and Thor's hammer.
And Thor's hammer. Oh, that would be excellent. Do you know what? I think we need to go to these producers. Let's start a new superhero.
Yeah, that's why. I know it sounds really silly, but with my symbol at the back, when I was designing it, it was so difficult. And I said I want it to be like a symbol for a superhero, because like Batman, and I know, and at the back of it, it's very like symbolic, like the phoenix at the back is basically to symbolize a phoenix rises from the ashes, and it's also to symbolize I have risen from the ashes, and so can you. So when people say I'm rock bottom, yeah, you might be rock bottom, but so is a phoenix. A phoenix starts from nothing and is one of the strongest fictional animals you can think of. So that was the whole inspiration of it.
That's do you know, that's absolutely brilliant. I love that, because some people come up with a logo and it's just a logo just because it looks pretty, but yours actually has meaning behind it, you know, and you've obviously put a lot of thought into that as well, you know. And I love that phoenix rising from the ashes is absolutely brilliant. And I know I have this gut feeling we're going to be seeing so much more of you, Maria. I have this vision that we're going to end up doing some sort of TED talk or something similar.
I'm excited. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for you to get in contact with me about that TED talk, because I think you're such an amazing lawyer and such an amazing person and inspiration, and I do believe it was God's will for us to meet, and I'm so excited about what the future holds for us.
Definitely, just watch this space, guys. It's going to be absolutely amazingly mind-blowing. So, you know, thank you so much, Maria. I'm going to let you get on with the rest of the day.
No, thank you so much. Have a lovely week.
You as well. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.